Now at 7 o'clock, a woman volunteering her time on Thanksgiving has her car stolen while helping to feed people in need.
It was just shaking, and I thought, oh no, all my Thanksgiving, everything's in here.
She told us that not only did she lose the food for her own Thanksgiving dinner, she says she's also worried that her identity may have been stolen.
Plus, winter storms across the country causing chaos at airports amid the heavy holiday travel. But are there any impacts at PDX? KGW's Libby Dowsett joins us live with the latest.
And TriMet's large-scale service cuts are underway. We're going to take a look at how this first round of cuts are going to impact the area. The live 7 o'clock streaming hour of Sunrise starts right now.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us live at 7 o'clock. I'm China Green.
And I'm Drew Carney. What do you say we bring Chris McGinnis and Rod Hill into the mix? There they are. So, Rod, I was gone all week for Thanksgiving.
Yes.
I heard it rained here on Thanksgiving. Is that correct? Does that sound about right?
Yeah, it was the wettest day of the week last week, I believe.
Windy, too.
Now, today, we don't have the rain this morning, but we do have some freezing cold temperatures out there, Rod.
And real quick, since Drew brought up Thanksgiving, it was 58 degrees. We got that late day burst of south winds, and it was 58. For a high. We have lights along the, not just lights, holiday lights. I just noticed this from the Vancouver waterfront, the Springs at the waterfront, picking up the holiday cheer there. You can tell it's foggy along the Columbia River, 35 degrees. Here's downtown Portland from the Pioneer Park building. You see some breaks in the cloud cover looking out over the illuminated Pioneer Courthouse. PDX in the 2 to 3 o'clock hour this morning was down to 30 degrees, marking the first freeze of the season out of the airport. Now, since then, some fog along the Columbia, the temperature has popped up 4 degrees to 36. But the big message this morning is it's cold. You'll want your big coat on. There's generally not much of any wind. It's 30 in Battleground. Still have freezing temperatures in scattered locations. Sandy, 33 in Hillsborough after being down at 32. Salem's still at 32, as is Almsville, as is Dallas. Estacada's at 30. So watch out for frosty spots, which can be surprisingly slick. Sunrise this morning, 7:31. Moving forward, we've got passing cloudiness to partly sunny skies at times. Only 42 at noon. So again, you want a big coat on. 46 when the kids get out of school later today. Here's Chris.
A good thing to do if you see fog, assume that there could be some frost or slick spots out there. Okay, let's show you where it's clear and the drive actually looks pretty good. I-205 right now heading south out of Clark County over the Abernathy Bridge. That's in pretty good shape. Interstate 84, the Banfield, a little foggy, and the I-5 commute getting busier at the Interstate Bridge. We'll zoom in there. This is our first significant slow spot of the morning from SR 500 down to the bridge, slowing down to about 15 miles an hour or so. There's the live look at SR 14. Again, I-205 not in too bad a shape, and the Banfield right now still zipping right along. 16 minutes, by the way, on the Sunset. That's your inbound drive to get you in from Hillsborough to the Vista Ridge Tunnel. China, Drew?
Thank you, Chris. All right, we start with flight delays and cancellations across the country as people try to make it home after the holiday.
Winter weather alerts have made things very difficult for anyone trying to get to or from places in the Midwest. We're talking about Wisconsin, Illinois, Iowa, all those states experiencing some travel difficulties. And then we saw this over the weekend as well. The aftermath right here of a Delta plane that skidded off the runway in Des Moines. Thankfully, no one was hurt. Now, we're not seeing that kind of nasty weather here, but those winter conditions in the Midwest did cause some delays and cancellations at PDX.
Libby Dowsett is live at the airport with how it's going this morning. Good morning, Libby.
Well, China is going pretty well this morning. We've talked to a lot of happy people that because the flights are running on time for the most part. One canceled flight out of Chicago O'Hare, but other than that, it's going well. The airport expected this to be a busy weekend, and they said even busier than last year. They say today and yesterday are typically the busiest days of the year, and we've seen security wait lines reach up to about 30 minutes, but they are now down to about 15 minutes. The airport predicts about 60,000 people will come through here today.
It's a little bit more zooey than we expected, but the lines moved faster and the people were very pleasant.
You know, there's a line there, but it isn't any longer right now than it normally is.
And they're happy because many of those people were heading to Palm Springs. The advice from airport staff, check your flight ahead of time, arrive 2 hours early. You can also check TSA waiting lines before you head to the airport at flypdx.com. And we appear to be in a lull right now, guys, but About an hour ago, these TSA lines to my left were stretching all the way across this open area. Back to you.
All right, Libby Dowsett reporting live for us this morning from PDX. Thank you, Libby. Meantime, TriMet has begun its first round of large-scale service cuts. For lines 35, 52, 77, and 81, buses will now arrive once every hour after 9 p.m. After 7 p.m., the FX2 line will run every 24 to 35 minutes. This comes as TriMet faces a $30 million budget gap with expenses outpacing revenue. We heard from one TriMet rider who's disappointed with the changes.
The less public transportation that there'll be after 9 will just continue to make it more and more difficult for people who want to spend their time out, who want to, businesses who want to stay open later. And with the increased rent, it's just going to make it even more difficult for small businesses and people to thrive.
Last month, TriMet got rid of 68 positions. The next round of service cuts is scheduled for March.
We saw a pair of crashes over the weekend in Kelso that involved a train colliding with a car. So the first one happened around 9 o'clock Saturday morning, right along Pleasant Hill Road. The person driving that car had to be airlifted to the hospital with serious injuries. The second crash happened about 12 hours later near Flat Road and Sakari Lane, but everyone inside that car was able to get out before the train hit it.
Meantime, Amtrak police are investigating after a woman in Salem was hit by an Amtrak train. First responders were called around 5:20 Sunday evening to the railroad tracks near MLK Jr. Parkway. The woman is still in the hospital. We don't know her condition this morning.
Firefighters had to put out a fire at an elementary school in Bend. So this happened around 9 o'clock last night at Miller Elementary on Northwest Crosby. Investigators say a lithium battery ignited the fire in the custodian's workshop. The fire didn't spread, but it did set off the sprinklers in the gym right next to the workshop. We're still waiting to hear whether school will be closed there today. A Hillsborough woman says someone stole her car while she was volunteering at a homeless shelter on Thanksgiving morning. Now, the woman's name is Cheryl. She told us that she parked her car at a lot on Northwest 1st and Davis in Northwest Portland so she could volunteer at the Union Gospel Mission. She says when the volunteer shift was over, her 1999 beige Honda Accord was gone. She also told us it's her only way of getting around. So she filed a police report, and she says she's been looking for the car on her own with her son. She also says someone spent more than $600 on her credit cards before she was able to cancel them.
I'm more interested now not in them, so just finding my car because I need it. And I can't really afford to get another one. I couldn't even before this happened.
Police say the story serves as a reminder to never leave anything valuable in your car and always activate your alarm system if you have one.
Cute. Some fluffy, sweet boy looking thing. Residents of the Brookfield Zoo in Chicago were just happy to see some fresh snowfall over the weekend. A winter storm brought up to 12 inches of snow to parts of Iowa and Illinois.
I'll tell you what,
He's so cute.
the bear may be the cutest of all the animals that can rip you to shreds in 5 seconds or less.
Yeah?
Right? I mean,
Yeah.
they are cute looking.
Yeah.
And then,
Cuddly.
yeah.
And then the
they're
rah.
not- Yeah, those paws make a difference. If they put their paws behind their back, it's much cuter.
Cute. Yeah.
All true, Drew. But unfortunately, you set me up with this vision of a bear just ripping me to pieces, and you've ruined my Monday.
Well, yeah, don't wrestle a bear, Ron. I'm gonna tell you, don't wrestle him.
Back to the U.S. weather, which is cold. This is a large outbreak of cold weather. So if you are traveling back east today, make sure you check conditions and have your proper coats with you. It's 16 in Des Moines right now, 25 in Wichita. Denver is at 16 degrees. It's in the 30s all the way down to Dallas. We have advisories for 1 to 4 inches of snow in the forecast for parts of Kansas, Missouri, Iowa, over into Illinois today. And this batch of snow is expected to migrate through the day into tomorrow up into Pennsylvania and parts of New York State, where there could be as much as 4, 5, 6, 7 inches of snow fall out of that. So that's the main area of concern weather-wise today. Prettiest camera this morning, I think locally, is this one. That's Jefferson on the right part of your screen. Looking from Timberline Lodge this morning, a partly cloudy skies, pretty early sunrise colors. Warmer at PDX than it is out at the airport. It's matching 37, though, to downtown Portland right now in West Lynn. 33 Hillsborough and Beaverton, 32 in Scappoose. Notice everybody's in the 30s, and in many cases, a lot of you that are above freezing now, we're actually down to 32 over the last couple of hours. So there are frosty spots around. 32 in Dallas, Salem, 30 up in Estacada. First freeze of the year recorded earlier this morning out of PDX, not of the year, but of the season, if you will, down to 30 degrees. Again, these are current temperatures. The cold is our #1 local story. 13 out in Burns, 23 over in Bend. Forecast temperatures later today for a mostly cloudy to partly sunny dry day. Reaching 50 at the beach, but mid-40s up and down I-5 and generally over in central Oregon, and struggling to get out of the 30s across eastern areas. We have a light shower chance tomorrow. 46 today, 48 tomorrow. Really, we're pretty quiet and pretty dry until rain picks up Friday, Saturday, Sunday of this week, and that is your update.
Rod, thanks for that. And pick it up with a traffic alert in Clackamas County. Heads up on the Oregon City Westland Arch Bridge. There will be westbound lane closures for the next 10 days from 9 a.m. until 2 p.m. ODOT's doing some ADA ramp improvements on the westland side of the bridge, so that will require westbound lane closures. During the closures, again, these are 5-hour closures here during the day through December 10th. Traffic trying to get from Oregon City to Westland can use the Abernathy Bridge. All right, back to your freeway drive right now. To Rod's point, it's a little foggy and maybe even a little frosty out there in a few places. There's some fog on the Banfield. That's I-84 coming out of the Hollywood district. The I-5 drive from Clark County has been a little slow, although at last check here, it looks like that's now starting to flush out near the Interstate Bridge already. But there's the live look. Quick check of the I-205 Glen Jackson Bridge. That doesn't look all that bad. Right now, we're looking at about a 12-minute commute to get you from Main Street to the Fremont. Drew?
All right, thank you, Chris. Thanksgiving is behind us, of course. That means Christmas season is here. And coming up after the break, we're going to take you back to this year's tree lighting ceremony at Pioneer Courthouse Square.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
Look at that. The holidays are officially upon us because the Christmas tree at Pioneer Courthouse Square is officially lit.
KGW's Christine Pitawanich was there Friday night hosting the annual tree lighting ceremony.
You could feel it in the crisp air. The excitement, electric. And the music, well, as always, was magical thanks to Thomas Lauderdale, Pink Martini, and a number of local choirs who got everybody in the holiday spirit. This crowd filled Pioneer Courthouse Square. They were here for one reason.
Welcome again to the 41st annual tree lighting ceremony.
Then, the moment Santa stepped on stage, it was time.
3, 2, 1.
The Portland tradition Friday night started with a Native American land blessing and opening ceremony. A number of people took to the stage, including a representative from Stimson Lumber, which donated the tree, as well as the president of the Square's nonprofit volunteer board. City councilors made an appearance as well, as Mayor Keith Wilson encouraged the crowd to visit downtown for the holidays, touting big events and days with free parking.
Please join Portland as we repair, restore, and revitalize, and the 7,000 employees and our city councilor. We are indebted and grateful for you. Together, we're going to rebuild our city that we love so much.
All these people on the bricks in the city's living room, showing up for a Portland tradition and demonstrating the love people still have for their city. Christine Pitawanich, KGW News.
All right, coming back out here. No, bring out the shot. I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to help Rod. Bring it on out here.
I can't run because I'm carrying my coffee cup. You know?
We're supposed to be together for this particular portion of the show.
Oh, we're supposed to be together. Let's all get in.
Well,
nice and tight.
4 seconds ago, Rod was in the doorway, just casually walking in like he had no business in the world.
I'm getting into the Christmas spirit, listening to the event last Friday.
You're doing great, sweetie.
Lighting.
You're doing great.
How are you guys?
Good. Were you eating breakfast just now?
No.
Okay. All right.
I was in the weather office. I was actually, I don't know.
Your
I am getting in the holiday spirit this morning.
Oh, good for you.
No, I've just been goofing around, really. I'm getting in the holiday spirit. Forecast is done, Mr. Carney. All right. Look at this. I put two. Now, wait a minute. Now I'm being serious. They're laughing at me. Now I'm being serious. Okay. Put my 2 yellow arrows right here. This is a shoot, and they're expected to be several of Canadian Air this month, December, coming down across a good chunk of our country. This current batch is kind of riding the Rocky Mountains and then penetrating all the way down into Texas and Arkansas and out to the east. It's 16 in Des Moines, 9 in Minneapolis, 8 in Fargo. The question is, will we get any of these cold air shoots coming out of Canada this month? There will be multiple cold air outbreaks across our country. The weather modeling, more than not, seems to like the cold air staying off to our east. Keep in mind, we have no snow up at the resorts right now. We need some cold. There is a system coming in this Friday, Saturday that looks like it could at least drop snow levels to 4,000, 3,500 feet and bring some decent snow with maybe an inch of rain to Portland over the 3 days, or maybe a little bit more than that, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. But realize this is what we're monitoring. Cold air gripping much of the country is expected to be colder than normal this month. Will we be on the outside looking in, or will we get some cold ourselves? Now, right now, it's cold out this morning, but it really has nothing to do with anything other than we were fairly clear last night and temperatures have dropped off, and it's that time of the year. This is a little weak system that will come in overnight tonight and tomorrow. We get some passing cloudiness from it today, maybe some sprinkles up around Astoria this morning. But other than that, it's just a nice day with a cold, frosty start. Looks like there's a little bit of frost on the grass in front of the Capitol Mall with some clearing over our state capitol. And there's that 32-degree temperature in Salem. Without doubt, that is frost on the grass this morning out over the Reserve Anderson Golf Club in Aloha with some cloudiness that's moved in. Kind of broken clouds, it looks like. 36 right now, but the airport in the area, Hillsborough Airport, for example, has been down to 32 this morning. Here's a cool look at some shallow fog, Mount Hood over there from the Wells Fargo building, and PDX at 36. This was a location, the airport, that got down to 30 degrees in the 2 and 3 o'clock hour this morning. So this is our first official freeze of the season. 36 in Kelso right now. Bend's cold, 23. It's 13 out in Burns. Forecast numbers for today. Maybe some sprinkles this morning up along the coast. Otherwise, kind of a mix of clouds and sun. And the beach generally expected to get up to 50. In the valley, it's more like 46, 47 degrees with mostly cloudy to partly sunny skies throughout the day passing and light winds. I've got Portland 46, the light shower chance tomorrow, but basically we're pretty quiet until rain picks up on Friday. And now, here is Chris McGinnis.
Thank you for that. Let's get you out the door with a look at several traffic cameras across the region. We're starting to build just a little bit as we get deeper into that Monday morning commute, I-5 from Clark County, up to about 13 minutes. That's the drive time to get you in from Main Street to the Fremont Bridge. Interestingly, we've kind of cleared things out on the Vancouver side, but you hit the brakes a little bit here from Lombard, then the rest of the way down towards the Fremont Bridge. Hopping over to the east side, there's a quick look at Interstate 84, the Banfield out of the Hollywood District, actually just inside of 28th Avenue here. So we're looking west towards Lloyd Center. It's a little bit foggy on that side of town, but it doesn't look like it's impacting the drive. And right now, Highway 26 out near the Sylvan Hill, both directions getting a little bit busier. Right now, that inbound commute from Hillsborough has jumped up to 17 minutes now to get you in from Brookwood Parkway to I-405. China?
Thank you, Chris.
We'll look into it, but no, I wouldn't have wanted that, not a second strike.
President Trump standing behind Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth amid a probe by Congress over an alleged second strike on a drug smuggling boat in the Caribbean. We'll have the latest coming up, your national headlines, when Sunrise continues after this.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
Both the House and the Senate have started inquiries into a reported second strike by the U.S. on an alleged drug smuggling boat that killed the survivors of an initial strike. Questions are being raised at this point about whether the United States broke the laws of war. NBC's Alice Barr has the latest for us from Washington, D.C.
This morning, a growing push for answers about the U.S. boat strikes off Venezuela targeting alleged drug smugglers. President Trump backing Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth amid new reporting the Pentagon carried out a second strike on a boat to kill survivors of the first hit.
Pete said that didn't happen.
Does that make you?
I have great confidence in it.
A U.S. official and a source familiar with the actions tell NBC News it happened on September 2nd, and the Washington Post, citing two sources, was first to report the second strike came because Secretary Hegseth had ordered all on board killed.
We'll look into it, but no, I wouldn't have wanted that, not a second strike.
Critics in Congress calling it a war crime.
So this rises to the level of a war crime if it's true. And the questions that we've been asking for months are, give us the evidence that the folks on board were really narco traffickers.
Now, Republican leaders of the Senate and House Armed Services Committees launching inquiries promising rigorous oversight.
If that occurred, that would be very serious, and I agree that would be an illegal act.
When people want to surrender, you don't kill them, and they have to pose an imminent threat.
The Homeland Security Secretary disputed the account, while Secretary Hegseth posted, "Our current operations in the Caribbean are lawful," and the Attorney General defended the administration's approach to fight drug cartels.
They are narco-terrorists. What you're showing on the screen right now are terrorists, and they are being blown up.
A series of U.S. boat strikes have killed more than 80 people over the past few months.
Again, that was Alice Barr reporting for us this morning. Here's a quick look at some other national headlines with your morning rush. There was a vigil in Stockton, California for the 4 people killed and 11 others injured during a mass shooting at a child's birthday party on Saturday. The 4 people who died ranged in age from 8 to 21. We know one of the 11 injured is still in critical condition. Authorities are calling the shooting a targeted attack, and the suspect is still on the loose. Luigi Mangione is due in court today. He's the man accused of killing United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson last year. Mangione's attorneys want some of the evidence in this case, including his diary entries, thrown out. They argue that investigators took them from Mangione's backpack without a warrant. A judge will rule on that during today's hearing. And the 40th annual list of dangerous holiday toys is out, and the list includes high-powered magnets, water beads, toxic jewelry kits, and toys with button batteries. And there's also a new concern for this year, something called Teddy Bear Kuma. I'm not familiar, but apparently it's an AI toy that reportedly made sexually explicit comments when researchers were giving it a look. And that's your Morning Rush.
The holiday season can either make or break your year.
That local shop owner says halting construction in downtown Vancouver for the holidays may have saved your season. We're going to have more on that for you coming up at 7:30. And we'll also head back out live to the airport in our next half hour for an update on any delays or cancellations on what is always one of the busiest travel days of the year.
KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yes.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW Plus.
We're coming up on 7:29 on your Monday morning drive. A look across the freeway system. Nothing way out of whack early on a Monday morning commute, but we're getting busy out there. 14 minutes your I-5 drive right now from Main Street to the Fremont Bridge. The slowest part of this commute is actually on the Oregon side of things here down near Lombard. You can see our speed sensor show about 20 miles an hour or so there. There's a quick look at the Banfield. Got some brake tapping coming in westbound from the Hollywood district, and yeah, a little busy on the Sylvan Hill as well. But again, the drive times aren't in too bad a shape. The trip from Wilsonville, for instance, only taking folks 21 minutes right now. Rod?
All right, good news on a back-to-work Monday, right, for lots of folks. Our number one weather story is the cold, and if you look carefully, that is thick frost on the grass, looking from the Oregon Garden Resort out in Silverton. So that's one of the frostier cameras I have seen. PDX has been down to 30 degrees this morning. That was a few hours ago. Now some fog along the Columbia has actually bumped the temperature up to 36. But big coat weather. Everybody's pretty much in the 30s out the door, and some areas are freezing. Temperatures in the mid-40s at 5 o'clock. Light shower threat tomorrow.
Here's a heads up from the White House to start our 7:30 half hour. The White House giving us a sneak peek at this year's holiday decorations. Hundreds of volunteers spent time over the Thanksgiving holiday decorating the White House. The point person behind this decorating project, First Lady Melania Trump.
Yeah.
She's in charge. This year's White House Christmas tree, by the way, came from a farm in Michigan. Apparently they haven't heard that Oregon is the tree capital of the world, for goodness sakes. Come on,
what's
the
up with
Christmas
that?
tree capital of the
It's
world.
an odd choice, isn't it? Michigan.
Yeah. What's up?
Michigan Douglas fir.
Public tours of those decorations, by the way, start tomorrow. So we're giving you the sneak peek this morning on Sunrise, but you can see it firsthand tomorrow. You know, if you want to fly out to Washington, D.C.
Very pretty, though.
I like the butterflies.
Oh, look at that. That last shot, the hallway there, all the trees.
You want to say anything to the decorators who spent the weekend decorating the White House?
Good morning. Tell me how to do that because I have a bare tree and I don't know what to do and what to buy.
You just have a bare tree.
I have a bare tree and I have a menorah and that's it.
Not a tree with little bears hanging from it. Not that kind of bare tree. You
No,
have a
no.
tree with nothing on it.
There's lights.
Okay.
It came pre-lit, but besides
nice.
that, I don't know. Do I want to do like an old school red and green? Do I want to do a maroon? Do I want to do white? Like, I don't know.
My kids made some Christmas decorations over the weekend. We went to this Christmas bazaar thing, this Norwegian Christmas bazaar. They were doing things with pipe cleaners and stuff. We could donate some of them. We have like a dozen of them.
She needs your help.
Yeah.
I'll send them right
I'll
over.
take all the help I can get.
All right. I got to make sure my wife gets my stocking up, every year. That's my big concern.
Oh, that's another thing. Where do I put that?
She puts stuff in it.
Did you hear that selfish thing that's your Christmas duty?
stocking.
You make sure that your stocking is hung.
Well, that's an important part of the holidays, yes.
Yeah,
my stocking
his stocking
too.
was hung by the
With
chimney with
care.
care.
Well,
And that's all Rod cared about.
Well, now, see, you're making me out to be a horrible person, which is
said
not totally off course.
You said it. You said it, Rod.
It is the stocking that I had as a little kid that my grandmother used to put in.
Oh.
That's why it's so important to me. And the fact that there's always stuff in it. All right, we have thick frost down in Silverton, the Oregon Garden Resort camera. That's the frostiest camera I can see, but there are others. We have fog that's kind of settled over the West Hills. The airport's at 36, but get this, out of PDX 3-4 hours ago, it was 30. So it has been a freezing start, and pretty much everybody in the valley is somewhere down into the 30s. Look out for potential slick spots with frost, especially because we're not that used to it. 42 at noon. And we'll be only in the 40s this afternoon with kind of a mixed bag of passing cloudiness and partly sunny skies. Here's Chris.
Rod, I want to start with a traffic alert in Clackamas County. Heads up on the Oregon City Westland Arch Bridge all this week and actually most of next through December 10th. ODOT's doing some ADA ramp improvement on the west side of the bridge. So that means westbound lane closures from 9 until 2 over the next 10 days. Your traffic solution to get around this, of course, from Oregon City to Westland is going to be the Abernathy Bridge and I-205. All right, your drive here and now, not bad. I mean, we've got 1 or 2 slow spots out there, but we could do worse on a Monday morning. You're tripping from Clark County 15 minutes, getting in from Main Street to the Fremont Bridge. The slowest part of that commute up near Lombard. You can see the southbound drive there about 20 miles an hour or so. Certainly riding the brakes a little bit on the inbound Banfield now. That's westbound 84 out near the Hollywood District and the Sunset, a little slow coming in from Sylvan. But again, these drive times we can do and have done a lot worse than this on Mondays. 22 minutes right now, the trip in from Troutdale. Drew, China.
All right, thank you, Chris. Today, the Monday after Thanksgiving, is always one of the busiest travel days of the year.
The Portland Airport expects an increase in travelers compared to last year. Libby Dowsett is live at the airport with how it's looking this morning. Good morning, Libby.
Hello guys, and I want to share this good news. This is the best we've seen here at the security checkpoint for wait times. It's now down to 7 to 8 minutes, and we saw those 30-minute waits earlier this morning. Now the airport is expecting 370,000 people, or nearly that, to come through here today and over the past weekend. We've seen pretty average crowds at check-in this morning, and people we've talked with this morning are thrilled to see flights running on time. The airport predicts about 60,000 people will come through PDX today alone.
So far, so good. Crossing fingers. A little crowded this morning, but to be expected after the holiday.
And airport staff recommends passengers should check their flights ahead of time and arrive 2 hours early. For today, the best advice may be to check TSA waiting times at flypdx.com. And yes, more good news, only one canceled flight out of Chicago O'Hare, and that was earlier this morning. So right now, everything looks on time or nearly on time. Back to you.
I thought you were about to start singing some lines from the Chicago musical there, Libby. Chicago.
Chicago.
All right,
I
Libby
can't
Dowsett.
get those notes.
Libby live at the airport for us on this Monday morning. Meanwhile, the main source of jet fuel for the region's biggest airports fully back in service at this point. 3 weeks ago, a leak was found in the Olympic pipeline, which transports gasoline, diesel, and jet fuel to Northwest airports, including Portland's and SeaTac. Officials are still trying to determine how much fuel was actually lost. So far, they've recovered, they say, about 2,300 gallons. The 400-mile pipeline runs all the way from Whatcom County in Washington down south here to Portland.
An investigation is underway in Marion County after a man attacked another man with a knife. Video sent to KGW shows a suspect getting arrested Saturday night near 3rd and G Street in Hubbard. Police say after the suspect attacked the victim, he barricaded himself in a car and refused all police commands. Nearly after 6 hours, police were able to take him into custody with the help of SWAT crews.
The Washington County Sheriff's Office is investigating a deadly hit and run in Hillsborough. Investigators say a person was hit early Saturday night on Southwest Minter Bridge Road north of the Tualatin River. There's still no description of the suspect or their car, and investigators have also not yet identified the victim.
Portland's Hollywood Theater had to be evacuated because of a gas leak Saturday afternoon. An issue with one of the building's furnaces let gas flow into the building. The situation was resolved about 30 minutes later with the help of Northwest Natural. The theater says screenings continued as normal.
A historical home in Scappoose is transporting visitors to the world of Dr. Seuss. Every room at this house, the Watts house, has been decorated to match the land of Whoville from Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas. This is a Whoville experience that started in Scappoose 3 years ago.
They absolutely love it, and that is the best part for us. Watching the kids' faces, and they're so excited. We have to kind of slow them down in the first room because they want to run right through. They're so excited to see what's next. And the wonder on their faces is worth every bit of hard work.
You want to know how much it costs to check out Whoville and Scappoose?
Yeah.
Nothing.
Oh.
It's free. Something is actually free, and it's open Fridays through Sunday nights and also on Wednesdays, late afternoon and early evening, now through January 4th.
Do you think people need to take off their shoes before they go in the house? I would request it.
Yeah, probably. Socks stay on, shoes go off.
Yeah.
Yeah. We may do that this year. I remember that story from a year ago. And my mom and dad are going to be out here over the holidays, and we're looking for things that we have not done with them. May go do that.
Is this the permanent move now? Your mom and dad are coming here for good?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely right. We fly out somewhere around December 13th, 14th to pick them up, meet the moving truck, and then we all fly out here together, and then mom and dad will be residents of the great state of Washington.
Do you notice how he said meet the moving truck and not that he would be helping move?
Oh, no. Don't go down that road, dear. Unbelievable the hours that my wife and I have spent, and we took a trip back to Missouri to pack up a lot of stuff about a month ago. This will be the end of a lot of hard work to get them out here.
That was his very polite way of saying, don't mess with me, John.
Ooh.
Not on that topic. All right. Real quick look at the fact that much of the country on this Monday after Thanksgiving is cold. So if you are traveling out to the east today or tomorrow, be advised. It's 16 in Denver and 16 in Des Moines right now, and there are snow showers. Forecast is 1 to 4 today from around Kansas City up through southern Iowa, Missouri, Illinois, and into Indiana. So that's kind of the spot that we're looking. Here at home, maybe some sprinkles up around Astoria or Long Beach this morning. There's a front out to sea that comes in the actual frontal boundary. It's very weak. Comes in tonight into tomorrow morning. We'll get passing cloudiness ahead of it today and the threat of some very light precipitation later tonight and tomorrow. Cameras are actually looking pretty good. Here's Chinook Winds Casino Resort in Lincoln City. Partly sunny, really pretty morning along the beach. It's cold everywhere with light winds. 37 in Lincoln City. Mainly clear, and if you look carefully, that is frost on the grass in front of the Salem, in front of the Capitol down in Salem. It's actually freezing right now at McNary Field, 32 degrees. And here's a spot where it's easier to see the widespread frost out in Washington County on the grass from the Reserve Vineyards and Golf Club Aloha. It was 32. It's bounced up to 36 in the past couple of hours. Downtown Portland, 37. PDX has been as low as 30 this morning. So again, cold start in the 30s with frosty areas around. Map for later today, about 50 at the beach, mid-40s from Portland down to Eugene and Bend. Only 30s across most of eastern Oregon, if not all of it, for highs. So it's a chilly day. Tomorrow it's either a sprinkle or a light shower, less than 5/100ths of an inch. Basically, we're pretty quiet all the way through Thursday. This morning is the coldest start. Then we've got a rainy pattern coming in on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And here is Chris McGinnis.
Okay, Rod, thanks for that. Let's take you to, well, I think we're going to start off in North Portland, actually. I-5 will zoom in up to near Lombard, the end of the line. There never really was much of a lineup on the Clark County side of things, but once you cross the interstate bridge, we get a little slow. This is a live look right now at Lombard. Our speed sensors show about 20 miles an hour or so there. All right, let's hop down to the south side of town into Tualatin. There's your I-5 drive through the 205 interchange. Northbound traffic starting to slow a little bit between there and Bridgeport Village. And last but not least, who else do we have on the traffic map this morning? Let's check out door number 2. That's the Sylvan Hill. Certainly getting a little slower there as well as more folks hit the road. That drive has jumped up to 24 minutes at last check on the inbound Sunset. That's from Hillsborough to downtown. China?
Thank you, Chris. Retailers say this Black Friday was one for the record books, and now they're hoping to keep that momentum going for Cyber Monday. We'll have a look at the latest numbers plus.
The holiday season can either make or break your year.
Local small businesses getting some relief after a pause in construction brings in new business. More on that story when Sunrise streaming live at 7 continues in 2 minutes.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
Issued a weather impact alert. We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yes.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW Plus.
That looked good.
I'd eat that.
The city of Vancouver is making it easier for people to get their holiday shopping done after pausing construction that's been going on for almost a year.
You want more on the story? Jake Holter brings us more.
Holiday season can either make or break your year.
It's been wonderful, and people are excited to come down here.
Molly McKenzie owns McKenzie's Treasures, an antique jewelry shop downtown. She says this Small Business Saturday, she had customers right when she opened, which was a welcome change after she says business has been slow this past year due to the Main Street construction.
It has affected our business a lot with people not being able to get through all the streets and finding places to park and such. And any time there's any traffic or any street closed off, it's not very inviting to people.
The city halted Main Street construction on Thanksgiving, and it will remain paused until New Year's Day.
Their ability to open it up for us and making it more walking friendly and car friendly through this holiday season is really important and a blessing in my opinion.
McKenzie says she's thrilled because the holiday season is when she and a lot of small businesses businesses make their money.
There might be 2 months that I am not making the same amount as my winter months, and I have to then compensate it or dip into the business savings to pay for our retail spaces and everything like that.
Just down the road, Wild Fern boutique owner Deanna Gaines says while the pause is helpful, this year will track behind years past.
Our holiday is just going to be scrunched into like a few weeks rather than a month and a half, the month and a half rush that we usually see.
Downtown Vancouver resident Laura Webster made it a point to shop around at small businesses Saturday to show her support for the community.
The restaurants can't survive if there's not people down here doing anything, and so it just makes it much more lively and welcoming to even be in the area than if you're going to drive to Target and do everything there.
Jake Holter, KGW News.
Well, this past Friday ended up being a record-breaking Black Friday.
And the Cyber Monday, retailers are hoping to keep that momentum going. NBC's Allison Barber reports.
The holiday shopping blitz is officially in full swing.
What are you hoping to get for the holidays?
A robot toy. It's been good. I'm hoping to get maybe like an Apple Watch.
And shoppers are poised to break records. Sales were up 4.1% on Black Friday compared to last year. The popular purchases, jewelry and apparel.
Well, the Super Bowl, as we like to call it, was very strong yesterday. We saw a lot of traffic, but more important than traffic, I think, are bags.
And this holiday season, retail sales are expected to pass $1 trillion for the first time ever.
Definitely clothes. I feel like I'm I like buying clothes for my loved ones.
But with looming economic concerns, including tariffs bringing higher prices, some are shopping with caution.
Are you budgeting a little more carefully or differently this year?
Not necessarily. I guess more frugal is the way I'm going about it.
There is no doubt in-person shopping is still incredibly popular, but a lot of us, we also like to shop on our phones.
Shopping online is a little bit more convenient, just a little bit.
Yesterday, consumers spent a record $11.8 billion online for Black Friday. And Cyber Monday is projected to be the biggest online shopping day of the holiday season, with analysts expecting sales to pass $14 billion.
I really just shop online. There are certain stores that I'm dedicated to, and I follow them throughout the year waiting for the sale.
Online or in person.
I like being in person because sizes are different. So when you order online, you're kind of just taking a gamble.
Everyone wants a deal. Allison Barber, NBC News, Long Island, New York.
So at one point there, it seemed like Ellison was trying to tell me that people were shopping with caution. But the first person she went up to and asked about that, they're like, no, I'm not. I'm spending freely. I'm getting what I want.
Yeah, yeah, nothing's changed. Luggage is great to buy on Black Friday and on Cyber Monday.
I think it's just a great present because I used to have bad luggage. And then last year, my sons, I don't know if they got some advice maybe from their mom, but my sons got me luggage. I just used it to go back to Philadelphia last week, and it is awesome to have a nice piece of luggage to travel with.
My husband has had the same big luggage since college.
Yeah.
So it's 20 years old. It's the soft one. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
I'm like, can we please, because we both use it when we travel.
Yeah. Isn't that your gift then?
I sent it to him. I was like,
why don't you just get it and put it under the tree as a surprise?
Santa.
Yeah, I like that.
Santa green.
You know, a suitcase was that was my high school graduation present from my mom.
Great
and dad,
gift.
Yeah.
Great gift. I wish I got that in college.
Huh. And then like your hubby, I probably literally had that old, soft, beat up suitcase for 25 years before I got
it. Embarrasses me.
Really?
I know it's dumb, but it's just
I get it. But man, those if you fly, your suitcase gets thrown here and kicked there. And I'm like, ugh. All right. Coldest morning. Yes, we did it. I think the coldest at the airport before this morning was 36, which we had done a couple of times. This morning in the 2 to 3 o'clock hour, the PDX thermometer dropped to 30 degrees. So it's the first official freeze out of the airport of the fall season. And it is, of course, December 1. That makes sense. The climate numbers for December 1, this is the day that the high temperature falls below 50 for the 30-year average. So the average high now, when we say what's normal, 49. What's normal, 38. The low, records for today's date specifically out at the airport, 63 for a high and 20 degrees for a low. We're watching a weak front. The front's actually here, and there's a bunch of cloudiness ahead of it. We're going to get some of the spilling clouds today, so kind of a passing clouds, a partly sunny day. Radar is indicating there might be some sprinkles up around Long Beach and Astoria, but otherwise we'll be dry today. And we do have pretty cameras with a mixed bag of cloudiness up top and some sun looking off to the east. Sun is now up. There's our Timberline Lodge camera. 36 degrees, actually as warm, if not warmer, up at Timberline than we have been here in Portland. This is really fogged over just since I walked into the studio 5 minutes ago. That's looking or not looking from the Wells Fargo building. 36 is the number out of PDX. Again, it was 30 earlier this morning. Here's good visibility from the Chehalem Tasting Room out in Sherwood. You can see kind of a broken cloud deck. Temperature near freezing at 34. All of the valley has been in the 30s. What is a big coat, chilly morning out there. Right now it's still 32 in Salem. 13 down in Burns. It's 23 over in Bend. Valley forecast numbers keep us in the 40s today. Frosty start for many areas. A mostly cloudy to partly sunny day moving forward with light winds. Southwest Washington, a bit of an east breeze could pick up from time to time out of the gorge. Otherwise, pretty light winds here too, and temperatures mid to upper 40s expected. 7-day forecast. Rain tomorrow is anything from a sprinkle to nothing to at less than 5/100ths of an inch. But a light shower threat nonetheless overnight tonight and tomorrow. Other than that, we are dry all the way into Thursday. And this morning is the coldest of the numbers, I think. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we've got rain in the forecast. Hoping for snow levels down as low as 3,500 feet because we need the snow. All right, here's Chris.
Okay, Rod, thank you for that. I've got a pair of traffic alerts to pass along here. First off, I want to start off in Marion County. I-5 northbound near in the Salem area. Got either a fender bender or a disabled vehicle. It's just north of Highway 22, and right now that northbound commute really, really slow. You can see the traffic on northbound I-5 really starting to line up. This is near the Mill Creek exit, so give yourself a few extra minutes to get around that. And then as we zoom up to North Portland, we've got a crash on I-5 near Marine Drive. I can't see the crash, but I can see the southbound impact. You can see we're starting to really bunch things up back onto the interstate bridge. That drive was starting to clear out a little while ago, but now it has gotten significantly busier. As too has been the drive through Tualatin. This is I-5 northbound near the 205 interchange. Things starting to really get busy on the freeways. The inbound Sunset leading the way with a 30-minute clip, or commute, I should say, commute time in from Hillsborough to the Vista Ridge Tunnel. Drew?
All right, thank you, Chris. A 90-year-old aviation mystery and a son who spent his life without any answers. We're going to share the new discovery in this nearly century-old plane disappearance case right after this.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yeah.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW Plus.
A mystery that stretches from Australia to Washington State may have been finally solved. 90 years after the disappearance of legendary Australian aviator Charles Kingsford Smith, the answers come for a son who has been waiting his entire life. Eric Wilkinson has a story.
Well, here's my father in his...
Charles Kingsford Smith is on the Australian $20 bill, but a stranger to his namesake son.
I did miss the privilege of growing up with my father.
Kingsford Smith was an Australian aviation pioneer, the first person to fly across the Pacific. In 1935, he was attempting to break the England to Australia speed record when the plane went down. Where and why remained a mystery for nearly a century. Also lost were the years the pilot should have been spending with his son, who at 92 lives in Bellingham.
Any boy who's got good parents wants to be with his father during his growing up times, not only for friendship, but also to learn about his dad's life, and I didn't have that.
Now, a new book, 20 years in the making, appears to solve the mystery. Of Air and Men takes a deep dive into the disaster. The author finding wreckage from the plane about 2 miles off the west coast of Myanmar. He theorizes the plane crash-landed after flying into a notorious colony of bats. Kingsford Smith and his partner tried to get airborne once again, but hit treetops and plunged into the water. To his son, the news is bittersweet.
He's gone. And I did want to close the chapter on his life as well as it could be done, but you know, it didn't bring him back or anything like that.
There have been many theories over the past 90 years as to what caused this crash, but this author believes his is the right one.
We've managed to absolutely dismantle every other theory that exists.
Damian Lay dedicated his book to 2 researchers who laid the exhaustive groundwork for his theory over the past 90 years. All 3 of them committed to honoring Kingsford Smith and his partner with the truth.
We owe it to these men to continue the work that we're doing in resolving this mystery, their disappearance, and certainly their recovery.
Kingsford Smith's son went on to become a pilot himself. Now 92 and living in Bellingham, the final chapter of his father's legend is now written.
I guess it made it more complete, made his life story more complete.
Eric Wilkinson, King 5 News.
Coming up at 8, California officials are still looking for the suspect who shot and killed 4 people at a birthday party. We'll hear from witnesses.
That story and local headlines coming your way at 8.
The KGW